stories on the humorous side of things, and also show some sort of vulnerability that allows me to see authentic side of things. And it is, tell me tell me about a time that something unexpected happened that your family or friends still joke about. Feel free to, just think it out.
It's kind of a weird one. I was probably 10, 11 years old, and my brother and my sister, we were all in the kitchen, and we were kind of fighting and arguing, and I had some Vienna sausages in my hand. I just had the can in my hand, and I opened the can, and at that time, we didn't have cell phones. So we had like cameras, and you either had the camera where you had to take it to pretty much the drugstore, then they would make the photo for you, and you'd go pick the photos up the next day or whenever. Sometimes I had 24 hours. So anyhow, I had this can in my hand, and I got pissed off, and I opened the can, and I threw the can in the sink, and Vienna sausages went all over the sink and made a big old mess. Well, my brother took my parents' Polaroid picture, like camera, and and took a picture of the mess I made. And for like 6 months, they would carry that picture around, and if they wanted their room cleaned, if they wanted a chore done, they would make this noise and go, ha, 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 and show the picture. And so it was their blackmailing me that they were going to show that picture to mom and dad and the big ass mess that I made in the kitchen. Right. And there'd just be this huge pile of wood, and there'd be over there a concrete foundation. We would have that big pile of wood, and in 3 days, you would look at that big pile of wood, and you would probably have 20 pieces this big. It was like, when people get meat, when they get an animal and they're like, oh yeah, they use every bit of that animal. Like they're cooking the bone marrow and everything. That was that man. There was zero waste. The pile of wood was there. It wasn't all over the ground, like mismeasurements, like, oh crap, like the measurement was right. And when you build a house, if the measurement is, 2 inches too long, it stinks, but it's okay. But if it's 2 inches too short, well, that board could be scrapped now or piecemeal. And he never had waste. One time we decked a roof, and I don't know if you've ever know what decking a roof is. It's just putting the plywood on the top, putting it to where it's not going to get rained on before the roofing comes in, shingles. And I was up there all day long. Oh, I'm not kidding you. And at this time I worked, your mom was pregnant. I worked all day long with him. And then I would get off there and I would go to Pizza Hut, and I'd work Pizza Hut. I was a shift manager at night, and I'd work there until 12 o'clock. I'd get up at 6 o'clock. I had worked all day. It was a summer day. I'll never forget it. We're decking this roof. Well, when you look at the rafters, how they've got the 2x4s that go this way, and you've got to hit the nail in that. Well, you can't see it when you're hammering through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to know where that board is that you're hammering the nail. At the end of the day, I was like, all right, man, it was 4 o'clock. I was like, all right, I'm gone. I got to get the Pizza Hut. He's like, no, you're not. And I said, yeah, I am. And well, I didn't say it like that. I promise you. I'd have been on the ground. I said, no, I got to go. And he said, now come here. And he walked me under the roof where we had put all the plywood. And he said, look up. And I looked up, and every nail that I had missed the 2x4 to nail the plywood in, he made me get on a ladder and back every nail out. And said, don't ever waste my nails like that again. And don't ever make my work look like that again. Because it's just nails driven through in air because they're not hitting the wood that it's supposed to go to.
Yeah.
And that was another thing. That one hung on. As far as, my dad did teach me to do things right the first time. But he showed me how to follow through in the work field. It's one thing for somebody to tell you to do it, and then another person to help tell you to do it while you apply it. And
Yeah.
yeah, he was a do it right the first time. Like, and back to the, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. If you're not going to say
Yeah.
it, well, if you're not going to do it, don't do it at all. I mean, he's, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's a good one for sure. I mean, that's yeah, I've heard a lot of, impressive characteristics about him, and it's
man,
definitely impressive that
man, we could sit there. I could tell you some stories. That man is. If there is a drop of a man in me that's not given to me by birth, it was given
Yeah,
to
music
by.
has always been. I mean, that's
Really, my first memories of music. Really, like I can remember as a kid,
yeah.
my first song. I can remember the first record I bought. I can remember the first tape I bought. I can remember the first rap tape I bought, the first country tape I bought, the first rock and roll. I mean, I was that into it. And
Yeah.
one thing that I really found, and I found this out really because we had, our dances at school. And I would go to the school dances and I would see how music influenced people just by the way they danced. And as the years progressed, I would see how girls would dance with guys in ways that I would never see that I would think that girl would act. And I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent on that one. I don't know. But I noticed how much of an influence music had on me. I mean, on people, and of course on me. And so I really gravitated towards the music that brought the vibe that characterizes me. I can't characterize myself through rap music. I can't connect with it, and nor do I want to connect with it because I think when I would listen to music that is outside of my personal, what I think my archetype is, I think I become a false me by listening.
Yeah.
If I'm listening to, and not to pick on gangster rap, but if I'm picking on gangster rap or whatever, it's even worse. What's a new one, man? It's like pretty much all it talks about is killing people. That's it.
Yeah.
Drum roll was it? It's like a drum. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. I just heard it the other day what it was called. But it's just like I could see a feeble mind being influenced by that. And so
Yeah.
I always recognize that with music. And I recognize it like, when I, seventh, eighth grade, girlfriend would break up with me and I would listen to sad music and it would make me cry even more about that girlfriend that broke up with me. And so I knew how much music, the vibration, the words, what it's about, the influence that it would have on me. So that's why I did gravitate to the festival scene because it was more of a communal kind of scene to me
Yeah.
of love and not a communal of anger. We had heavy metal and it was a bunch of people that they were angry. And it's like, why do I want to go to a concert to be angry? It's like, man, I guess, do I need to go in one of those rooms and break TVs, those, whatever rooms they have now where you destroy things? It's kind of where you got to get your aggression out. I didn't connect with it. And not that I was the free love guy because I'm not that either, but I connect with the people that connect with music I listen to. And I think a lot of people do that. But I think a lot of people I think a lot of people will change their ways and their marching orders in life change because of music, and changes their dress and even to the point of to where they think that they can be that chosen one that's on the that's on their radio right now, or